Meta is becoming a cancer. Now, I've already made multiple videos, I feel like, recently talking about this topic. However, I think it's finally reaching a point of basically no return where it's devolved so badly that people don't even know what the word meta really means anymore, right? Going back to the first year of HSR, meta was not that popular. Most people didn't care at all or were even aware about zero cycles and low cost zero cycles. Even early Pentagony, this was still the case, even though there were some content creators making that type of content. It was only until around mid Pentagony / mid version 2 where content creators started taking off in terms of meta content creation. Zero cycles, Robin clears, Firefly clears, Facial clears, right? And this is, in my opinion, where it really started actually, going full force. And then early version 3 was when we started seeing kind of the peak of this type of thing happening, right? Or what should have been the peak. Everybody's E0 to E2 jump nearly doubles their damage. There's now significantly more after sale supports. Characters are significantly stronger in comparison to version 2 ones. So a lot of people were on the Glaze Fest for version 3 characters, but of course, still, it was a majorly casual community, in my opinion, who did not care enough about zero cycles, unlike the meta community, until Mono Rem, right? The second Mono Rem dropped and people saw what this game will do to favor any units with all the shilling. That is, in my opinion, where the biggest boom so far happened, because a lot of people felt betrayed by the Mono Rem team. Oh, I didn't invest in Mono Rem, I invested in another DPS, and my DPS in comparison got completely shafted, right? Or it's also a thing of, oh my god, this team is way stronger. Now even upcoming, they're getting Robin SP. They're getting this. They're getting that. And so there was also the drama about Tribby, right? Oh, I thought Tribby was supposed to be for this team. Now she's using Evernight and Cyrene instead. So a lot of people held, really bad opinions about what it was Hoyo was doing in the way they were selling their teams throughout a lot of Amphorius, which led to a lot of them having disdain, right? And now in version 4, early version 4, you have things like Yao Guang dooming, because people are calling her a Tribby similar to Cassie Mono Rem, despite it not being similar at all. You had Sparksy dooming. People were like, oh, I don't think she's a sub DPS. She's definitely just a main DPS. There's no way she fits in that team, despite how synergistic Elation characters are with other Elation characters, even if there isn't any specific synergy to take note of. You have Ashvale doom posting after his V3 and V4, with people calling him completely bricked. What is the common denominator among all these characters? They're now all glazed. They're now all called good characters / good teams and good performers because they actually got some of their best in slots. That's just how doom posting goes. Because meta has become so much more popular over time, a lot more casuals try to get into it, which leads to a lot more of agendas and misinformation being spread, right? And we are at now, in my opinion, a point where not even zero cycles are rated enough for this quote-unquote meta community. We went from 5 cycles is fine, or you can even take more so long as your other team can make up for it and you clear in 10 cycles total, to 2 or 3 cycles, this is really what you want to aim for if you have a good team, to you should probably aim for 0 or 1 cycles. This way, it really goes to show how strong your team is at clearing the end game content. To, it's 0 cycles. 0 cycles are what you should use to base low cost clears with if your team takes more cost or more cycles than a lot of other teams in the game. It's really underwhelming, and it's probably going to get power crept after a few patches. 2, even if you get low cost 0 cycles, you still aren't rated highly enough unless you are getting the same level of low cost 0 cycles as the newest, strongest teams in their favorable shill, right? It just devolves more and more and more as time goes on, and it's just unbelievable to see this all unfolding in real time. Of course, you'd already know I'm mainly getting my opinion for this from the Saber Gilga Doom posting. These two have a shit ton of low cost 0 cycles across multiple bosses that some may not even be the most favorable, yet people are Doom posting because they're talking about, oh, Himiko's full team by the end of the version. So if they aren't the top low cost 0 cycles currently, then this means that they mistreated Gilgamesh and Saber completely, and they are not worth investing in or getting in at all, even if you like the characters. It's just gotten to a critical mass at this point. It's gotten to a point where there's no return once again, and it just keeps getting worse because meta is just increasingly becoming the most popular topic for this game across everything, right? So a ton of people are getting into this without really having any clue of what they're talking about, and are instead just parroting things that they hear other agenda posters say on social media, thinking that they're actually spreading the gospel or some shit. And it's just useless. You only need 5 cycles on average per a team, right? If Saber Gilga can get a 3 cause 0 cycle or a 4 cause 0 cycle, it doesn't make them bricked. In fact, that's good enough to last them the next version until they either get Nova Sunday or the next Fate collab characters who should fill in another role for their respective Fate teams between Archer and Saber. Not everything needs to be a 0 cycle. My fucking goodness. And not everything needs to be the lowest cause 0 cycle possible to actually praise a team/character's performance. If Sunday Nova ends up coming out, and on top of this you have free Gilga, Saber is actually one of the cheapest teams to invest into in the entire game because of Huohuo also being free through the golden token shop. You get Huohuo, you get a free Gilga, plus E0S1 Saber with E1 Gilga. This is like a technical 5 cost team on paper, of course, but in terms of actually costing you something, this is 3 cost sustain team that is competitive with some of the strongest teams in the entirety of the game currently. Right? Please stop stressing so much about 0 cycles. If you clear, you clear. Of course, if you want to challenge yourself, sure, maybe you care more about 0 cycles, but stop trying to spread this propaganda that objectively certain characters are bricked. They have no future. They aren't going to go anywhere. It's not worth getting them in the slightest because you base character and team value off of the lowest cause 0 cycles possible. It's completely stupid, especially now that we know this game goes out of its way to do free Nova Flares. They give free limited 5 stars. You get a free indirect buff. Literally nobody could have guessed that Archer would end up being as strong as he is today without dumb luck of being synergistic with Sparkle. Sparkle's Nova Flare was made for Sparksy, but he still benefited just as much from Sparkle Nova Flare as Sparksy. And now, because we know the Fate collab is a long-term thing, and there's even supposedly a part 3 planned with Sakura, it's possible that he got Rin and he's going to get someone else as well. And in the same respect, very easily Saber could end up getting buffed by Nova Sunday, even though Nova Sunday is targeted towards Himiko, since they both just care about energy, they both like team-wide buffing, they both like team-wide energy. It's not really all that hard to see, but people, unless it's put right in front of their face at that specific time, will just completely doom a character to oblivion, and I find it incredibly unfair towards the teams and characters in this game, right? But that's just my opinion. Not everybody needs to hold the same opinion as me. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. I think meta is a cancer, right? The goalpost is just shifted every once in a while to become more and more and more stupid / egregious over time. I wouldn't be surprised if like a year from now people are basing character and team performance dead seriously off of 0 AV clears, because it's just so fucking embarrassing. Have a great day, have a great night, peace out.